Okay, well, that was without a doubt better than expected. I don't know. I wasn't exactly ready for that, and it made the show at least 150 times much more better. Am I right or am I right? What's going on, Apollo Nation? Your boy here, Apollo, from Down, Down, Up, Up, and better camera quality. The tongue just doesn't want to work as usual. Disappointed. But we're here. NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool is finished. It's in the books. And obviously, if you saw it, you're getting the same rush I'm feeling right now. But before we dive into the video, a big note, obviously, for anyone who's watching this right now. Yes, this video is a bit later than expected. Apologies. I'm filming this literally just a few minutes after the show. But I know for a fact I have no time to upload this, and so sorry, but hopefully you were all tuning in on a Sunday night. We're ready for another week, but first, we're going to talk about NXT TakeOver, because in 2 weeks, we're going to be getting to one of the biggest wrestling weekends of January and possibly the year already, but right now, it's about NXT TakeOver UK. Let's dive right into it, starting with the pre-show. A good montage of everything we're getting ready for. Although there was one surprisingly more important incident than we would have thought. Jordan Devlin attacked Travis Banks in the back, and it looked like Travis was selling the knee a bit more than I would have expected, because the whole time I'm thinking, okay, he's getting a few shots on him. Wait, he's holding the knee. Really? Has he put that much damage in order that you need to hold the knee that bad? I don't know. It didn't feel quite too real to me at that point that is gonna what start a leg injury. Just opinion, just my opinion from what I've seen in the past. But keep it in mind, Travis Banks is a bit hurt, although backstage, we immediately found out after the footage was played from earlier that day when the attack happened, Travis Banks was cleared to compete. So it looks like we're getting a big GO for the match. Ha. Ha. Let's move on to the actual show. Now, we kicked off with the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. That was a big surprise. Title match starting us right off. Not only title match, but first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions about to be called, and what we got was a really good match. I mean, I expected it as much. You got Mustache Mountain, one of the greatest tag teams of all time from the UK, former NXT Tag Team Champions, going to work against GYV, I believe is their tag team name, Grizzly Young Veterans, I think. I think that's what they're calling themselves, aka Zach Gibson and James Drake. Now, I took a gamble on this one, but the gamble paid off. However, it was not as lackluster as you would have thought, maybe, because I picked GYV. I did not see Mustache Mountain winning the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. They're already big. NXT likes to make other people big, especially at times like this. Because let's think about it for a second. We gave the first ever NXT UK Women's Championship to Rhea Ripley when we already had Toni Storm built up huge after winning the Mae Young Classic, although I now have learned that I believe that the women's title match was taped beforehand. Nevertheless, Toni Storm was still the bigger competitor at the time. Regardless, they gave it to Ripley. What did they do here? Well, it was a great back and forth. Both teams looked like they had this one multiple times, especially with that freaking arm lock. What's that called again? The Shankly Gates or something by Zach Gibson. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And oh, there was a double because James Drake applied it to the other member. However, there was the breakup match continued. That was great. But finally, big power move to Tyler Bate on the outside. It took him out. Double, special, whatever they call it. It was a beautiful setup. And 1, 2, 3, James Drake pinned Trent Seven. At least this match didn't get ended by throwing in the towel. Let's think about how bad that was still last year. One of the rare mistakes made when it comes to this team with WWE. But Gibson and Drake, the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions. I was thrilled. I knew this was the direction it had to go. You have Zach Gibson. He won the tournament last year to fight Pete Dunne for the UK Championship, and he lost. And then he lost again in NXT in the same match situation to Pete Dunne. And he comes to the regular show, but then keeps winning a lot. And now he finally has the tag team championships to back up his mouth permanently. Uh, and then there's James Drake, who honestly surprises me being in this position with Gibson. If it was going to be anybody, I would have hoped it would have been Joseph Connors. But that's okay. That's okay. Good job, Drake. You've made your impact. Congratulations, guys. Cannot wait to see how far you go with those titles. Really proud by that. But then the second match, and here's where things got a bit too much, but in a good way. So we're ready for Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. Banks comes out to the ring. He looks okay. Doesn't look like he's selling the leg too much. Then Devlin comes out, but Banks is the one who instigates this first. He attacks him on the outside. The bell does not ring. They have a little scuffle, but Banks triggers that knee injury again, and Jordan Devlin takes advantage of it, works on him a bit, and then eventually Banks is taken to the back. Both the general manager, Johnny Saint, and his assistant come out, but cheeky, they were ready for this, even though Banks is the one who instigated this assault. Not dissing Banks, I'm just stating the facts here. And what followed was definitely one of the highlights of the night, because this match was technically called off. However, Jordan Devlin had a new opponent. Who was that opponent? It was Finn Balor. Finn Balor from Monday Night Raw showed up, and the roof got blown off that place. This was ecstatic because this is what everyone has been wanting to see for at least a couple of years now. Why? Look at Jordan Devlin's face. Look at Finn Balor's face. Look at the body types. Look at some of the similar move types. It's Finn Balor versus Finn Balor Extra. That's what it was. And honestly, the way I thought this was going to play out was this might actually just be a 1-minute squash. But no, give praise to Devlin. He put in the work. He even stole some of Balor's moves and taunts. But obviously, they didn't want to go all the way with this. I had a feeling too, just because Devlin already had a shot at Pete Dunne's UK title and came unsuccessfully, as you do when you fight Pete Dunne for the UK title. That's just a fact at this point. But he put in the work, but Balor finally caught him with the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor beats the Apprentice, keeps his reputation there strong. And honestly, if I had to choose, I wish I could just say, ladies and gentlemen, your permanent competitor on NXT UK, Finn Balor. Because Raw and Finn Balor has just been very painful for a while now. Yeah, it's just, we're going up, but then we're going back down, and that's what happens, because that feud with Corbin really took a lot out of me this year. Well, last year, technically. But moving on to match 3. This was definitely the biggest surprise in terms of match quality of the night. It was the no disqualification match between Eddie Dennis. What did I say Eddie Dennis? I really hope so, because the tongue is quicker than the eye. Eddie Dennis versus Dave Mastiff. No disqualification match. This is a feud I have not really cared or even paid too much attention to. I know they had previously had a match that ended in a double disqualification, hence why this rematch was made up. I didn't know, however, that they had fought weeks ago and Mastiff had already beat Dennis. When I learned that, I was feeling a bit more unconfident with my pick in Dave Mastiff. But then what followed was absolutely insane. Eddie Dennis showed the incredible strength. The crowd was backing him up crazy. They had some really good strength spots, hit a few awesome moves, including the high cross, a move I haven't seen Sheamus do in years now, pulled off beautifully by Dennis. But as the match played on, Mastiff getting his steam back and hit his finisher cannonball to Dennis through a table in the corner. 1, 2, 3. The unstoppable Mastiff picks it up. However, this has to be said, the wrong man won that match. Oh my goodness. They had the potential to be coming out of the shell with freaking Eddie Dennis. I don't even know how to say it still, because I'm still shocked about it. He with that win, he could have started his own crusade. He had the people behind him. It was just so impressive, and it was totally unexpected. Totally unexpected from me. So, bravo, Eddie Dennis. I cannot wait to see what you're going to do next, because you have my interest, young man. Keep it up. But the win went to Mastiff. You do what you do, so hopefully it's the end of the feud. If it isn't, I'm not going to complain that much, because I'd love to see one more match out of them, but I think we should start doing other things with Dennis right now. I like it. You can tell I'm interested. Let's move on to match 4. This match was the match for the NXT UK Women's Championship. It was the champion Rhea Ripley defending once again against Toni Storm. I believe this is their second match, at least for the title. I don't remember if they fought in the Mae Young Classic. Not last year, but the year before, 2017. I'm not sure if they fought in that or not. You guys can maybe leave a comment below if you know. I think this was match 2, so here it is. Here it is. I predicted in my predictions that someone was going to get hurt in this. And to be fair, someone did. Not like severe injury, but their character, their morale hurt because of a loss here. Because I'm going to have to repeat this. Let's think about this. Toni Storm, built up, won the Mae Young Classic last year. Already a huge fan favorite. Should have been awarded with the title once she won the Mae Young Classic, in my opinion. Rhea Ripley, though, she unexpectedly, to some fans' opinions, picks up the win and beats Toni Storm in the finals to win the title, and her reign is only just started. So what happened here? Well, the match was okay. Toni hit her finisher, but kick out. Ripley, I'm not sure if she hit her finisher. She hit a pump handle slam called Riptide. I thought hers was a pump handle powerbomb, or has that been banned now from her? I don't know, honestly. But what happened? Well, just a few more back and forth. Toni Storm finally pulling the hair, cheating the way Ripley always does. I did notice that. Into the finisher. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm is the new NXT UK Women's Champion. She finally did it. She put everything behind her. She has achieved the top. But Rhea Ripley, I'm so sorry your reign got cut this early. I hope this isn't it for the feud. Really hoping we can see some more out of you. Keep that head held up high. You are still a great star in NXT UK. Let's go. But now let's talk about the last match. Oh, this was conflicting. This was very conflicting. But it is what it is. Pete Dunne and Joe Coffey. I was still surprised when this match was announced. But then we get to the match itself. No interference. They absolutely killed it. And we're coming actually a bit close to, I want to say, killing each other. It was scary at points. Finishers were being sold like nothing at some points. I'm pretty sure Joe Coffey kicked out of more than one bitter end. I think he kicked out of like a third one when the finish finally came, and they were just falling to the floor from the top rope at some point. Not in the ring, but outside of the ring. It was just absolutely crazy. But let's talk about the finish, and this is where some people seem to be having conflicting emotions. Me, not so much actually, because in order to really annoy me, it has to be more than the finish to be bad when it comes out of a match that had the quality like this. Let's talk about it. Pete Dunne hits the third bitter end. Joe Coffey kicks out again, and the crowd goes nuts, but Pete Dunne sits on him, starts pulling at the fingers like crazy. Not too much though, not too much. But Coffey tapped out. That was unexpected. I was really happy to see Dunne retain. That was a good call for me. I'll give myself some credit for that. Not quite over yet as Pete Dunne, and for good reason. We'll talk about the ending of the show later. And by later, I mean soon. But, oh man, Joe Coffey, wow. I was not thinking you were going to tap out that quick. If they were going to do a finger ending, they should have had Pete Dunne try to, like, break one and, like, keep breaking at it, clawing at it, you know, like keep tugging and pulling. But it was just so short. That's my only complaint. Otherwise, the match was great. Loved every second of it. They built it perfectly. They had us throughout the whole thing. Great. Great. Great match quality. In my opinion, that comes like this close to being 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Sorry, Joe Coffey, but at least you are more well known when it comes to match quality right now, man. Awesome job. But okay, now it's time to talk about the ending of the show, as if they hadn't done enough already, in my opinion. We saw new tag team champions, a new women's champion, Finn Balor. Pete Dunne celebrating with his title in the ring, 602 days and now counting NXT UK Championship reign. Wait, there's the graphic at the bottom right of the show. Show's going to And wait 1 second. Out came Walter. If you are not familiar with Walter, why are you listening to me? Go search him up right now. Oh man, I couldn't believe that. I will completely admit it at this point. I'm marked out. I was not expecting that. I knew WWE had signed him, but not in a million years would I have thought he was going to show up this early. I was thinking, okay, maybe like April. Because usually when you sign somebody, there's time and whatnot, and maybe there already had been enough time, but Walter just came walking out. I popped, the crowd popped, he stepped in the ring face to face with Dunn. In came Joe Coffey, and Walter just kicked him out like garbage. Another face to face with Dunn. Dunn knows what Walter wants, and that was it. Walter left, Dunn celebrated, but oh my goodness, Walter's here. Walter's here. He is a monster among men, and I will gladly use that phrase even though it's already copyrighted with another certain monster of monsters. Walter's a beast. I finally got to see Walter early last year wrestle, and it was absolutely crazy. I followed him since. I'm really glad he came to Defiant Wrestling. That's one of the big UK promotions I follow. If you don't think it's big, well, too bad. It's big. And he killed it. And I understand why he recently dropped a championship on that show, because NXT UK. Oh, I am psyched to see what they're going to do with Walter. Is he the man to finally end Pete Dunne's UK title reign? If I had to put money on it right now, I would just... big old check mark? Yes. Yep. Wow. Absolutely crazy. And now that we're at the end of the video, here's something I wanted to elaborate that I'm pretty sure I'm going to put in the title, but with question marks. Perfect predictions from your boy. I mean, I called everything that was scheduled, and I did predict Jordan Devlin losing his match with Travis Banks. It just wasn't Banks who picked up the win. So you know what? I'm going to call myself first prediction contest of the year on this channel, and your boy gets all 5. We're doing great. Let's keep the momentum going. Love you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Cannot wait to continue this January with you guys. It's been an awesome year so far. I hope you are all enjoying it, and I hope you all enjoyed NXT UK TakeOver. Loved it. It was a fun show. I enjoyed every second of it. Total awesome Destiny ride words. See you guys later in another video, and I believe I forgot to say this in my predictions contest. How rude of me. Keep it real.